Hello and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Afika, and I will be your MC today. We would like to offer our sincere gratitude to everyone present here for taking time out of your day to attend the session. And without further ado, I would like to welcome Mr. Wesley Lim on stage for his presentation.
Malaysia. All right, I'm very excited to be here, privileged, and very grateful to have all of you in this session. All right, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Wesley. I'm the System Engineering Manager from Fortinet. I'm based out from Kuala Lumpur. Yeah, and before I go on, I just want to give a very big thank you, right, to the Malaysia team, right, and the community in Malaysia, especially all the leaders in Malaysia for supporting our vision. Yeah, Fortinet's vision, right? It's without you, it is not possible for us to create a digital world that anyone can trust. Yeah, and how we actually achieving this, right? And this is our mission statement. Yeah, and our mission statement is to secure the people, the devices, and data everywhere. I could relate to this very clearly. It's because that I have a teenage daughter, right? She's 14 years old, right? And I was pretty surprised when she told me, right, password, right, a capital P alias, right, 55W0RD, right. It comprises of lower caps and higher caps, special characters, right. She knows it's a weak password, yeah. So yeah, at the heart of it, right, and I knew that I'm actually making a big difference, right, to her, to my family, and to the people around me as well, right? And again, as well, I just would really much want to stress that big thank you to Malaysia, right, for supporting us, right, and creating the space to allow us to contribute to do this, right, to do this mission. Yeah. Okay. Now, again, as well, some of the recognitions, right, that Fortinet have actually achieved, right, and as a matter of fact, right, we have already appeared out many times, right, as a market leader in Gartner's Magic Quadrant reports, right, in the areas of network firewalls, right, and of the recent time, of the recent years, we have seen an explosion and a lot of adoption on WAN edge infrastructure, right, and many thanks to all the support that was given, right, and one thing that wasn't foreseen was also the pandemic, right, and the pandemic has also accelerated, right, many of all these types of use cases. Yeah. So if you can look at it as well, right, we are also listed in the areas of web application, right, wired and wireless LAN, yeah, SIEM solutions, right, and we are also getting into the areas of endpoint protection and platforms, yeah, and not forgetting as well, Fortinet is also mentioned as a vendor to consider in additional Gartner Magic reports, right, as our secure web gateway and our presence indoor location services. Yeah, we are adding more and more of all this, our product lines, right, in the area of Gartner. Right, big thank you to all of you, right, because without you, we would not be able to achieve this area, right. But let me just want to share. I just want to take the time to share with you how did we get here, right, and Fortinet has always been around for quite some time, right? As some of you have heard, have worked with us, right? We have been in the market for 20 years, right? But that's just a brand name. But the founders of Fortinet have already been around for many, many years as well, right? Way before 2000s, right? And yeah, so I just also want to iterate again, as you can see, right? The two Magic Quadrant report, right? This is based on 2020, right? The 2021 is not released out yet, right? And this is where we are being recognized as the leaders, right, in the areas of network firewalls and the WAN edge. Yeah. Okay, going back to the evolution of this, right? I still remember when I was still in school, right? Yeah, pre those days in my secondary school, right? Endpoint security, right, were merely just antivirus and just firewalls, right? And they just do the network-based firewalls was just a very straightforward accept or deny, right? No rocket science there, right? As we grow along, right, and the IT infrastructure has actually grown, right, and more adaptation on the areas of LAN and WAN, right, we see more use case in terms of network security, right? We see more data center that is being coming out, right? And we are also with the explosion of internet, right? WWW, all right, content was also one area which whereby a lot of enterprises are also looking at to how do we govern this and how do we protect, right? That's also the birth of the PDP, the Personal Information Act, right? And that's also where we have the creation of endpoint protection and VPN, right? As where we go, as we move on, yeah, and in the areas of right now, all right, very recent years, we have seen a lot of embarkation, right, in terms of cloud, right? When we talk about cloud, right, many customers that I'm actually talking to right now, they are talking about infrastructure modernization, right? How do I move, right, my edge computing, right, over to the cloud, right? And on top of that, in terms of endpoint side, right, is there anything that they can do pre and post infection, right? And how do they actually manage access management? Okay, so what am I trying to say over here is just that the cybersecurity industry has gotten way bigger, right? And at the end of the day, right, we just want to find out, right, to have that level of visibility of identity and whether if these users have got the right access, right? So threat intelligence are no longer looking into signature based or code based, right? Uh, that level of complexity, right, when it comes to uh, complex cybersecurity concerns, right, are mainly right now tailored towards user behavior, right? So I'll give you an example of user behavior, right? With the massive use of social media today, it is very simple, right, or easy to find out the background, what the person likes, and what the person does, right? What would be the areas of interest, right? So that's why certain attacks, right, like the spear phishing or baiting somebody, right, using this level of information, right, it would be very, very easy, right? For example, right, I mean, my children, right, they would just Google, right, who is Wesley Lim, right, and they can actually see, right, my level of professional profile, right, and sometimes, right, it will actually link up to certain Facebook posts, right. I'm a fan of motorsports, right, so there's he and she is able to find out information, right, from the internet itself, right? So I think it's very important for us to know, right, that the cybersecurity it has become a norm, right, for quite some time. But the question is that how does that actually impact us, right? Then the second thing that I wanted to share is also that now if we notice, right, in the early days of in the internet, right, switching and routing were the basics of networking, right? And we are seeing more and more convergence, right? That's one. Second thing, the speed, right? The speed that we have got on the Wi-Fi today, right? It's almost equivalent to the speed of the wired access, right? Switching speeds has gone massive, right? And in data center right now, we are even talking about hyperscale speeds, right? And things have gotten faster and faster, right? And in the area of explosion of devices as well, right? So I think one of the one of the areas that we should be addressing here is just that we have got better latency, faster speed, right? More throughput. 5G is coming, yeah. So are these tools that is going to help us, or are these areas of concern whereby bad actors and also threats, right, that they can actually use to perform malicious intent? Yeah. This is so very interesting, right? I'm sure that for several days that you have already heard, today is day 3 of CYDES, right? First 2 days, many people have also shared with you that level of sophistication, right, in terms of cyber criminal activities, right? If you have not seen this chart, right, I would advise you just do a Google search on MITRE, MITRE, right? This is their kill chain methodology, right? So strategy can be actually put on top of this methodology for you to do your prevention, right? But where I'm coming from, right? Today, that level of threats that we are in at right now, right? It has gotten simplified, right? Threats have gotten simplified. The speed to deploy, right? To do reconnaissance, to do weaponization, it is fast, right? There are even tools whereby people can download, right? Easily available, custom it, right? To do that level of delivery, right? Whereby insertion can be done via email. It can be sent to you via your document exploits, right? Or it can be anything. It can be on your mobile device. Once it is being exploited, right, then the detonation takes place, the installation takes place, right? And that is where they can actually do the level of command and control, and they can actually make use of it, right? So we see of the recent months, right, maybe for the last 6 months, yeah, ransomware, everyone knows that, yes, it's there, right? But we also see a lot of activities on crypto jacking, right? Meaning to say, some of the resources, right, the servers, the cloud resource that has been put on the cloud or your data center, yeah, people are using it to mine bitcoins, right? To mine certain cryptocurrency. That's what they call crypto jacking, right? So that's where the action on objectives is, right? There is a malicious intent. I hope I got your attention on this, right? These three areas, right? So how does Fortinet addresses this? Yeah. So for 20 over years, we have come to this would be our fifth iteration, right? We have led the industry with a lot of technical innovation, right? And we are the only company in the world, right, that has got a very close system, right, close integrated system. And we look into the areas of digital attack surface. We don't only just look at emails, right? We consolidate the area of emails, users, devices, right? And where these applications are being seated on. It could be on the cloud. It could be hybrid, right? It could be also be on your on-prem data center. How do we actually correlate to have that level of visibility on these areas? Yeah. So on the area of security-driven networking, this is where our core, which the FortiOS is actually built on, right? Our next-gen firewall, our SD-WAN, our SD-WAN functionality, right? All this is all built on the area of to look into the area of visibility so that we can actually provide that level of right protection. Yeah. And then, right, we do not just stop there, right? And when we are able to have that level of visibility and to have that level of protection, right, we look beyond, right? And this is where we look into a integrated solution, right? So as you can see on the system, right, on the screen, you can see there's things like the Fabric Management Center, right? How does the NOC, the Network Operations Center, and your Security Operations Center is able to do, right, automated threat response, are able to correlate events, are able to support you in terms of your forensics, right? So it is a level playing field of people, process, and technology, everything into a single pane of glass, right? So what we want to do here is that our goal is to share the threat intelligence, right, within our FortiGuard threat intelligence, right, and together with our Fabric Management Center, and this is where we correlate all that level of visibility as well, right? Now, one thing I wanted to share a little bit on FortiGuard threat intelligence. Yeah, the in the area of that is our intellectual property, right? We have actually used AI, right, artificial intelligence and machine learning in terms of looking into our threats, right? 15 years ago, right? So we call it the SEDS engine that we have actually built, right? And this is where we support, right? And we support and we correlate that level of complex threats, right? Now, the other exciting part is, right, when we built Fortinet, right, globally, we have got 8,200 employees, yeah? And our FortiGuard is actually our R&D center, our research and development center for threat research, yeah? It based out of two locations, right? In Canada itself, we have two locations. We have got two centers in Canada, right? And the other center is actually sitting right out of Kuala Lumpur, right? Not many people knows that, right? But we do that, right? And out of 8,200 employees, right, globally, right, we have close to 200 employees in Malaysia, right? And they're all Malaysians, yeah? And yeah, something exciting. I just wanted to share because I'm very passionate about growing, yeah? Yeah, we are also going to move to a new facility, right, which is going to support up to about 300 employees, right? Pretty exciting, right? So last, in terms of integration, right, Fortinet has always believed no man's an island, right? We have created a platform whereby an open ecosystem can be tightly integrated. What do I mean by tightly integrated? This is where we share threat intelligence, right? For the likes of Malaysia, right, we do share our threat intelligence with the people of MICERT, right? So globally as well, people like Interpol, right? And in the areas of operational technology, we have also API integrations, ready-built fabric connectors with people like Honeywell, GE, Schneider Electrics, yeah, Siemens, and the likes of all these vendors, right? Solution vendors itself. Yeah. And our whole aim, right? It's how do we create, right, a self-healing network, right? Using all this level of automation, right? Using technology to support, right, organization's process and to support the people as well, right? So I have a deck on talking about people, right? But generally, right, what am I trying to share here is that it is all about the people, the process, and the technology, right? So Fortinet has got a very wide range of technology, which what I'm going to share with you shortly, right? In the areas of security-driven networking, we have seen the explosion of user devices, right? IoT devices and OT devices as well, right? Now, we all know that due to the recent pandemic, right, the total population in Malaysia is 32 million. Yeah. Now, any wild guess on how many devices, right, which is connected, right, to the internet, or how many mobile devices, right? Take for me example, right? I'm just one user, yeah. I have got a laptop, right, my office laptop, right. I have got an iPad, right. I have got two mobile phones, right. So I myself, let's say I would have four, but generally, right, most professionals, right, would have two, right? They will have their mobile devices and their laptop, their work laptop, or it could be their personal laptop, right? So again, we have seen a massive explosion in terms of number of devices that's connected to the internet, right? And that's also where our service provider plays a role, right? Now, when it comes to security-driven networking, right, long story short, we look into the areas of users' behavior, endpoint activities, right? Mobile devices, and also the IoT device, right? So IoT devices are actually mainly on low powered, right? They are built to do specific tasks, right? And this all will provide they need that level of connectivity, right? It could be 5G, it could be the internet, right? The any kind of internet connectivity, right? And the connectivity can be through a campus, can be through a branch, right? Like many of us right now, we are working from home, right? So this is where we built our technology on the security-driven networking, right? And to facilitate, right, the protection on all network edges, right? And when this is being protected, right, they will be able to access, right, seamlessly, right, on services on the cloud, infrastructure on the cloud, right? They can also do on-prem or data center access, right? And last but not least, in some of the OT stuff, right, they may need certain kind of edge compute, right? So how do we build a platform in terms of visibility to see all this? This is what we have today, right? And when we look further, right, remember I said that threats today are no longer just looking in terms of we are no longer looking into just code base, right? We are looking into user behavior, right? So this is where device and user identity plays a role. Who, what, why, and when, right? So we have built something what we call a continuous contextual based trust, right? Based on the level of multi-factor authentication. And this can actually run on multiple platforms. It could be on our appliance, virtual, or cloud, right? To access, right, the services on the cloud, right, infrastructure, internet, or the data center, right? So we have got the level difference of the segmentation, right, the proxy locations, and where the user needs to access the application. Yeah. Now, something very interesting about cloud, right? We talk about cloud, yeah. Our security fabric is also tightly integrated with the native integrations for cloud, yeah. So if you see the likes of AWS, Azure, Google Cloud as well, right? We have got massive templates. This addresses that level of speed to deploy in terms of provisioning, ops, and automation. Today, Fortinet has got one of the largest and the broadest cloud number of cloud support, right? And we are not only talking about public cloud, we're also talking about things like your private cloud as well, right? So for the likes of the VMwares, right, the Cisco SDNs, right? Yeah, we do support that level of integration, right? Very tightly integrated, right? My key point here is that level of user experience that you have it on-prem, we can now virtualize it as well already, right? Plenty, okay? Now, Fabric Management Center. This is one of the key things that would support that level of operations, right, to address the monotonous tasks, right? And what we mean by self-healing is just that there are also AI, right, engine built into it to do event correlation, right? And this is where we can actually create triggers to automate certain function, right? Blocking function based on user behavior, based on threat ratings, and also based on access, right? And we built this, right, across the different platforms, right? I mean, to support multiple platforms, it could be on-prem, which is appliance, right? We can also deliver this in a VM in a virtualized manner, right? Alternatively, if you want it as a cloud managed, right, we also have this as well, right? So one thing very exciting also in our latest release, right, we have also went beyond, right? We have gone to support SD branch zero trust provisioning, right? We also have, all right, features like policy optimizer, right? And today, right, due to the level of complexity of cybersecurity, we also have provide to most of our customers best practices services, right? This is widely available already. Yeah. Now, when it comes to FortiGuard, right, a lot of questions are being asked, right? How do we do our AI-powered threat detection, right? Let's talk about threat detection first, right? Any breach, right? Now, what I'm showing to you, it is a kill chain, right? It is also a maturity model, right? So our solution, the Fortinet Security Fabric, supports, right, multiple level of maturity model that your organization has, right? The key point here is that now, one, to look into the level of visibility for breach protection. Two, right, is to look into that incident response. How do we respond accordingly, right? So if you want to scale, if you want to go fast, right, this is also where, right, we have also built engines, right up to using the malware analysis. This is something what we have actually used to support some of the more complex forensic activities, right, such like ransomware. Yep. Now, like I said as well, Fortinet is not we don't work alone, right? We always believe that the knowledge and the information that we have is also good for us to create an open fabric ecosystem, right? Now, what I'm sharing with you right now, we have added a lot more new logos, right? 2 years back, it was only not even hitting 200, right? Now we have already more than 400, right? Tightly integrated solutions, right? So if you see in the areas of cloud, right, we have got Fabric connectors, which has got native cloud integration templates to automate certain provisioning, right? That we can support natively, right? And in many organizations today, right, they are also talking about that level of Fabric DevOps, internal DevOps using OpenStack, Red Hat as well, right? This is the level of automation, right? And we also tightly supported that, right? In part of extended ecosystem, right? Some people, some organization or customers that which I talked to, they said that no, they will use certain other compliance, right? In terms of threat intelligence, right? We can also share threat intelligence, right, across different vendors, right? So that's the beauty of it, yeah. And at the end of the day, right, we don't want to create just a system, all right, or a platform that we work by ourselves, right? So it's pretty much proprietary, right? But we wanted to create something which is very open, yeah. And we have addressed the ecosystem, right, into multiple pillars, right? As you can see, right, we don't just work alone, yeah. We work with many other vendors as well, right? In the areas of security-driven networking, you see common logos, things like AlgoSec, Arista, Infoblox, Gigamon, right? Centrify, right? Even areas like CyberArk, which is the endpoint, right? Even though we have our endpoint solutions, right? And in areas of AI-driven security operation, you can see we even work. We have an open API with Splunk, right? And if you have got a ticketing system that runs on ServiceNow, wonderful, right? We have that API integration, right? Zero trust access, right? This is all talking on the endpoint itself, or it could be on the Wi-Fi and also the wired access. Yeah, this is where we support. We have an open integration with Tenable. Yeah, Nozomi networks for their IDS, right? In terms of areas of OT, Dragos, Clarity, right? Plenty, right? We just don't stop there, right? Our technical innovation builds on this. Yeah. Okay. Now, I've already explained the process and the technology, right? One thing I'm very passionate about, people, right? I like to see and I work with people to grow the best out of them, right? In the areas of certification globally, yeah, right, we have actually surpassed 500 million people, right? And the numbers are continuously ramping up, right? in Malaysia itself, last year, we have also achieved a record high number of NSE certifications, right? NSE stands for our network security expert, right? And if some of you are interested to know more, right, you can actually sign up for free. You can do the NSE certification 1, right, 2, 3 for free, yeah? And I think the key point here is just that Fortinet, how are we trying to make a difference to Malaysia, right, and to many people out there? It's just that number one, we will want to create easy to use, right, IT awareness program. Basically, this is to closen up the gap in terms of the cybersecurity skills shortage, because we see there's a lot of shortage in that area. Yeah. And how are we doing this is that we have got almost 350 plus security academies and our authorized training centers, right? We have close to, yeah, right now I think the number is about 120, right, in 100 plus over countries, right, of authorized training centers, right? And we just don't stop there, yeah, right? We have got strategic partnerships as well, right, to scale up the areas of our cybersecurity knowledge, right? And we insert, right, some of these NSE training platforms, right, into certain company or our partners that we work with, right, to get the people, all right, the employees skill up, right? So these are all the different steps, right? So as I just shared, right, NSE 1, 2, and 3, if you have the time and if you have that level of interest, please go into our website at training.fortinet.com, right? Just sign up as public. You can do the NSE 1, 2, and 3 for free, right? We are doing it for free, right? All right, key takeaway, right, which is I'm very passionate about as well, all right, which is what got my enthusiasm and a lot of things which me and the team is working on, right? Now, right, our Prime Minister have also announced, right, the My Digital initiative, the blueprint, right? So a lot of activities that we are doing, right, not just the not just the Fortinet Malaysia team, right, but globally as well, right? What we are doing, we are actually aligning to this level of blueprint, right? So we are also embarking on a lot of strategies, right, to support, right, the Malaysia government to transform Malaysia, right, into a IT-centric, more digitally drive, high-income nation, and how do we create, right, that level of space, right, to be a regional leader in digital economy, right, through the areas of manufacturing, through the areas of agriculture, right? So we play a role in that, yeah. So when it comes to people as well, right, as what I've shared, yeah, we are also increasing the level of opportunities to address a lot of skill gaps, right, especially human capital concerns, yeah. So yeah, it's a balance of people and technology, right? So this is where we will be moving, right, to a new facility, right, very short, right, and I hope to get some of you to come over, right, and yeah, just give us a feedback, right, and you can experience that, our R&D center, our tech centers, right, yeah, they are very Malaysian. They are most of them, majority of them are Malaysians, right? Last but not least, right, we are here to make a difference by being a technology enabler, right? And this is where we support, right, and we create a lot of technical innovations, right, to to change that level of user experience, right, to simplify a lot of complex back-end stuff, right, into more human way of using technology. Okay, so with that in mind, right, that ends my slide. If you have got any questions, right, I think we still have got a short time. Yeah, if you've got any questions, please post it, right, and I'll take a look right now. All good, Afika? All right, with that, now I think that will end up my session. My time's up. My time is up. Right. Having said that, all right, I would very much like to thank you for attending this session, and please stay safe. Bye.